Crypto mining is taking off in the US, and renewable energy is helping to make it happen. Welcome to CNBC After Hours. I'm Pippa Stevens. Let's start off with today's market rally. The Dow, S&P, and Nasdaq ended higher thanks to a very strong start to earnings season. Big banks like Bank of America and Morgan Stanley made more money than Wall Street was expecting. In fact, 8 members of the S&P 500 index reported earnings today, and all of them beat expectations. Now, investors just hope that kind of profitability can continue. Things look pretty good for crypto, too. Bitcoin managed a 1% rally by 4 p.m. Eastern, bringing it just below $58,000 per coin. Solana's Sol token gained more than 3%. And then there's Ethereum. It rallied more than 7% as momentum continues to build for the platform. Also, here are some other numbers you should know. First up, 293,000. Another Thursday means another update on unemployment in the U.S. And this week, it's good news. First-time filings for unemployment fell to 293,000. That's actually the first time it's been below 300K since the start of the pandemic. That positive economic data boosted today's rally. Next, 10,000. Also on the labor front, John Deere employees are going on strike. 10,000 workers walked off the job today after failed talks between the company and the union. The strike affects workers in 14 plants across 5 states. And that's not the only strike happening right now. Workers at Kellogg's cereal plants have gone on strike over benefits and overtime. Not to mention, 60,000 film and television workers plan to strike this coming Monday over working conditions. Lastly, 1.1 million. Coinbase announced its NFT wallet this week, and it looks like it's already a big hit. 1.1 million people have joined the waitlist for access to the new feature, according to Bloomberg. Coinbase is taking on OpenSea with the new NFT product. And for context, OpenSea says it has around 300,000 users. So many cryptocurrencies have rallied in recent weeks, and mining in the U.S. is picking up steam as well. The University of Cambridge is out with a new study which finds the U.S. is the top choice for miners to set up shop following the crackdown in China. It also looked at how renewable energy adoption is growing in the crypto mining industry. Fellow host MacKenzie Sigalos has that story for us.
The U.S. is now the #1 destination for Bitcoin miners, accounting for about 35% of the network's total hash rate. That's up 428% from September of 2020, according to new data from Cambridge University. Meanwhile, China, which was once the epicenter of this industry, has seen its share fall from 67% to 0 in less than a year, thanks to the country's crackdown on mining. Now, since then, we've seen this mass migration of Chinese miners heading to places like the United States, and for good reason. For one, the U.S. has been quietly boosting its hosting capacity for years. The U.S. is also flush with sources of low-cost power, which more often than not tend to be renewable. In Washington State and New York, you'll see hydro-powered mining farms. More states are adding wind and solar power to their grids. Miners across the country have harnessed nuclear power and leftover natural gas as well. This shift toward clean energy sources has already begun to recast the narrative among skeptics that Bitcoin is bad for the environment. That said, not all miners are headed to renewable destinations. Kazakhstan is just behind the U.S. in terms of its share of the global Bitcoin mining market, with 18.1% of all crypto mining. And keep in mind, it's home to coal mines that provide a cheap and abundant supply of energy, but also ample carbon dioxide emissions. However, several mining experts tell CNBC that they think Kazakhstan, which neighbors China, is just a temporary stopover on a longer migration west.
All right, before we go, here's one last thing to know. William Shatner has boldly gone where only a few billionaires have gone before. Sorry, couldn't resist the dad joke. On Wednesday, Shatner reached the edge of space using Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. He was accompanied by a Blue Origin VP and 2 paying customers. After the flight, which topped out at about 350,000 feet, Shatner told Jeff Bezos he was, quote, overwhelmed by the experience. You can read about his space flight along with everything else we talked about today by going to CNBC.com or downloading the CNBC app. That is all for today's edition of After Hours, but we'll be back here every Tuesday and Thursday, and we'll see you then.